Hi there. There's a soul tag for 2024 that just was started, and it was done by DJ Vinyl Vertigo. It's got 20 questions, and they're really fantastic questions. I'm so excited to do this because I love soul music, and it really gave me the opportunity to do a deep dive into my soul collection. And there are many artists that I completely forgot about, and there's some that I always listen to all the time. So it was just really great to see that vinyl tag going around. So here I go. I'm going to get cracking because there are lots of questions. So the first question is, what is my most listened to soul album? So it's the Spinners debut album. I talked about this album in my 10 most listened albums. And it really is because this has so many hits on there. So many, Could It Be I'm Falling in Love? It's a Shame. It's incredible. So has been my go-to soul album this past year, and it'll likely be the same for this year as well. They're great. So the second question is most recent soul record purchase. So I picked this up, the Leroy Hudson Anthology, 1972 to 1984. Leroy Hudson actually had a hand in putting this together. So this came out in 2017. So it's really fantastic. So I feel quite fortunate to be able to have picked this up last year. Number 3 is name a male soul artist. So I absolutely love Michael Henderson. This album has his hits, Take Me, I'm Yours, and In the Nighttime, which I absolutely love. And other songs are here, Valentine Love and Be My Girl. Michael Henderson, he was actually a session bass player. And he also was one of the featured singers for Norman Connors. And from there, he went on to become a solo artist. It's fantastic. And he's such a great soul singer. And I think not quite appreciated, really. So I have lots of his albums, but I wanted to show you these two because these two are my absolute favorites. Number 4, Stax release. So here I have the Rance Allen Group. This is on the Stax label on Truth Records. Fantastic. Another hidden gem. There's so many soul artists in that genre. It still has the sticker price on here, $5.99. Number 5, soul artists not from America. So I want to name a couple because it made me really think about how a lot of these artists, when they first came out, when I first heard them, I actually thought they were American, and I didn't actually learn until much later on that they were actually British or from Britain. Okay, so it's a Heat Wave. All right, and you've got Central Heating, you got all those hits. All You Do Is Dial, Always and Forever, Boogie Nights. So you got Heat Wave, and then you got Heat Wave's Current, and then Too Hot to Handle. And the amazing Rod Temperton, he was actually a band member on here. So, he went on to produce Michael Jackson's Thriller. He's written so many songs for so many groups. He was just up there with Quincy Jones, but, he did it very stealthily. So not many people back in the day really knew that he was the man behind the scenes for a lot of those hit songs. Then you've got Sade. I still have the sticker price here. Tower Records, $6.99. Amazing, right? Smooth Operator, Diamond Life. And you got the Stronger Than Pride album. Then you got Promise. There you go. So these are my 3 favorite ones because during my university days, I was listening to these. And then you got Mika Paris. She's awesome. And then I've got her 12-inch single here, Breathe Life Into Me. Number 6, female soul artist. So I love Betty Wright, and this album is phenomenal. It's a concert live album, and she sings all her hits. And the best one I love is Tonight Is the Night. And she's actually talking to the crowd and telling her story about how her mom disapproved of that song. And she sings some other hits on here too. And she does a medley of Pillow Talk, You Got the Love, Mr. Melody, Midnight at the Oasis, Me and Mrs. Jones. So it's really cool. And then she came out with this album in the 80s, and still wonderful singer, soul singer. Number 7, gospel album, single by soul artist. So I initially thought, that's easy. I'm going to have an album. But I didn't. I took 30 minutes to go through all these LPs. I really couldn't find a soul singer doing a gospel. And I thought for sure I would have a Aretha Franklin or an Al Green album. And I just didn't have those LPs. So I thought, well, I hope this will pass. It's a Sister Rosetta Tharpe. She's an amazing gospel singer, guitarist. So she does all these gospel songs, and then she gives it a rock and soul twist. So it's so incredible. Number 8, blue-eyed soul artist. So I thought this was really a great question. So I'm gonna highlight 2. And first of all, it's gonna be a band. It's the Average White Band. So they're Scottish. So I had no idea they were number 1 white and number 2 Scottish back in the day. I used to hear my brothers were really into this group, and they would play the music, right? And I would hear it as a when I was very little, and I just thought they were a black band. So they're Scottish, and they got those big hits, Pick Up the Pieces and Cut the Cake. So I'll just show you this album there. It's a great imagery as well. The artwork. This is Cut the Cake. This is another good one too. The second, artist I want to show you is Tina Marie. So, she used to step out with Rick James, but she is considered to be the Ivory Queen of Soul. She is so incredible. When I first listened to her, I just thought, okay, all right, she's a good soul singer. When she came out with this album, Irons in the Fire, and when she did that song, You Make Love Like Springtime, it was so incredible, and I was so struck by her range and her depth. And when she came out with this album, right, Lady T, I had further appreciation for her singing. That one song she sings on here, Now That I Have You, it's really a beautiful love song. So she's an incredible singer, and as I said, she's known as the Ivory Queen of Soul. Number 9, soul artists that more people should be aware of. Something to point out. This artist, Phyllis Hyman, I love her. These are my 2 favorite ones. That's why I'm showing it to you. So this song, Somewhere in My Lifetime, this album, and that song is fantastic. A lot of ballads, and you have You Know How to Love Me, a more faster tempo song. Incredible singer, and she, like Michael Henderson, they both were like featured singers for Norman Connors back in the day. So then they branched off into their own kind of solo careers. So exciting, and I hope she gets more attention in the vinyl community. Soul artists featured on a rock album. I thought that was a really great question. So it got me really thinking. I thought, right, it's got to be Foreigner. When they came out with this album and the song Urgent, I'll just tell you quickly, when they were in the studio recording that song, apparently they thought, they wanted a solo of an instrument playing in the song. And then someone apparently suggested, we need a sax solo. And then someone in their studio said, hey, Junior Walker is recording down the street in a whatever studio. Let's go ask him. And that's what they did. They went down the street and they found Junior Walker, and they asked him, hey, would you be interested in being involved with the song Urgent and doing like a solo with a sax with it? And he said, yep, sure, guys, let me finish my recording, and when I finish my session, I'll pop on down. And that's what happened. The rest is history, because in that song Urgent, you've got that long sax solo, and apparently Junior Walker, he improvised that whole thing after listening to what Foreigner had recorded so far, up into the point of where they wanted that solo. So Junior Walker, he improvised that whole sax piece in that song. So how great is that? So I just want to show you some of the Junior Walker LPs I have. A couple of my favorite songs are, of course, What Does It Take to Win Your Love? And then you've got Roadrunner. And Junior Walker and the All-Stars, they do These Eyes. Amazing. This is great. This is a live album. And I just love Junior Walker and the All-Stars. They're fantastic. And I've actually seen him on interviews on television shows in America, and he's quite funny, and he comes across such a super nice guy. Number 11 is Motown release. So I'll show you this one. It's the Temptations Sing Smokey. It's a great album. Right, number 12, soul artist deserving a boxed set. I thought it's got to be Isaac Hayes, right? I love Isaac Hayes. And, he's done it all. He's done so many songs. I'm not even going to bother naming all the songs, but I just show you some of the LPs I have. And, of course, we all know Shaft. And he also did another movie soundtrack called I think Two Bad Guys or something like that. And the music's fantastic. And in fact, some of his music was sampled by some chill out groups, you know, lo-fi groups. So that was kind of cool. If a box set doesn't exist for Isaac Hayes, maybe there could be one soon. Soul Act Seen in Concert. So I had the opportunity to see Earth, Wind & Fire when they performed in Oakland, California back in the day. And I just absolutely love this album, the Gratitude album, because it's a compilation of concerts they did across America. One of my favorite songs on here is Sun Goddess. It's amazing, you know, the song that they did with Ramsey Lewis. So this is one of the best live concert albums in my view. And I actually did a video about live concerts, so that's on my channel if you want to check it out. Number 14, jazz record by a soul artist. So I kind of got maybe this in reverse. So because George Benson started as a jazz guitarist, but he eventually morphed or evolved into like a soul singer. So I thought this album could be shown, Give Me the Night, because he does Moody's Mood in there and a couple other jazzy songs on there. So, and this was such a big hit for him. So George Benson, Give Me the Night. Number 15, a soul artist in a group recording and solo recording. So I'd like to show you Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, okay, featuring Teddy Pendergrass. You know, I always thought Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, whenever I saw the band, I assumed that Teddy Pendergrass was Harold Melvin because, you know, he was the lead singer, and I just assumed that he was Harold Melvin. But, you know, I would later learn that it was Teddy Pendergrass. So it was when Teddy Pendergrass was getting really big that they decided, okay, let's give him, let's showcase him as part of the group's name. And then we all know he went off for a solo career. He left the group. And here you've got Teddy's live Coast to Coast album. This is one of my favorite live concert albums as well, and I talk about it in one of my earlier videos. And this is an incredible album, and there's also an interview with a radio DJ at the end of this album that they include in this LP. So it's really fantastic. He's got so many songs. I won't go through all of them, but I'll just show you just some of the LPs. Teddy Pendergrass there. Favorite soul song. So that's such a tough question because I have so many. I just love so many soul songs. When I look at my soul playlist, right, it's all there. But I thought, okay, you know what? I gotta really be brutal here, and okay, I'm gonna pick three. So it's David Ruffin. He used to be the lead singer for The Temptations. So he did this song produced by Van McCoy, and this is kind of like his comeback album. And he sang this song called "Walk Away from Love." And it's fantastic. And, you know, credit to Van McCoy. It was such a big hit for David Ruffin. And you got to listen to that song. It's the most amazing falsetto. And it wasn't even planned. He just went off and did it in the studio, and they loved it so much. They just kept it. He surprised everybody in the studio, even Van McCoy, because that was not planned. So, and in my estimation, that really made the song. So you've got Bloodstone, Natural High. I just love that song. And then the third song is Please Don't Walk Away by General Johnson. It's such a great song. So if you haven't heard it, I'll put a link down below and you could check it out on YouTube. It's a great song. And this whole album is fantastic, really fantastic. Number 17, Reggae Soul Artist Release. So the obvious one is Bob Marley and the Wailers, right? So I thought, okay, I'm not going to do Bob Marley, but so I thought, right, I'm going to do Dennis Brown. So I love his song, Love Will Find a Way, or His Way, and then another song he did was Money in My Pocket. So those are like my two favorite Dennis Brown songs. So live in concert soul recording. So I hope this qualifies, but there was that documentary called Summer of Soul. So it's really a compilation for me as well of the most amazing soul music. So I picked this one, a Questlove John Summer of Soul. Okay, that's my compilation pick for soul music. It's so great. If you can get a chance to pick pick this LP up, please do. And David Ruffin is in there singing "My Girl," and again, he hits that. His falsetto is incredible, and his interaction with the audience is wonderful in the Summer of Soul concert that took place, I think, in Brooklyn in the '60s. It was considered to be like the black version of Woodstock. So I actually talk about this LP in a video I did earlier in my channel. So if you want to check it out, please do. So if my Summer of Soul soundtrack album doesn't count, then I've actually got 2 K-Tel LPs. They're called Original Hits, 20 Original Stars, Soul Motion. And, when these K-Tel LPs were being sold back in the day, they were advertised on television for bargain prices. And, they were kind of looked down upon, like they were not proper records. But, they're fantastic. They're wonderful compilations. The quality's, in my view, pretty good. I'm not an audiophile, but they play fine. They sound great to me. So I think back in the day, there was a bit of a snobbery about K-Tel records. But I think today, they're pretty hard to find, and they could be pretty pricey as well. I think we're up to the last one. Favorite soul channel in the VC. So I follow a couple of channels that do soul. They're really fantastic. You got, Craig Danger, then you got 6-Inch Pianist. But, for me, hands down, it's got to be Nadine, the lady out in Germany who her channel is called Soul Disco. And she really is like the queen of soul in the vinyl community. I did mention her in my Vinyl Tag 2024. So I'll put a link to her channel below. So please do check out her channel. So that's my Soul Tag 2024. Thank you very much, DJ Vinyl Vertigo, for putting this together. And I hope more people will jump onto this tag, because I would love to see what everyone else's soul picks are. I hope you enjoyed this.